All right, welcome to summer here. We'll try to film this one and make it a quick video because it's hot outside and I had to film these with all the windows rolled up. I've said this in other videos, but right now I do a lot of app work is my main gig. So things like Instacart, Uber Eats, Spark, etc. It's awesome, but you get to set your own schedule, which means depending on your current needs, you're able to put in more hours if you need to. So right now I have a couple of things on my plate. A couple of bills to pay off, a wedding. And so right now it's a little bit of an hustle mode, but it's a temporary thing, which is I think what keeps me going, where it's like I know life is not about just working, and it's especially not about just like grinding and grinding and grinding with no end in sight, But at the moment I do work 6 days a week, about 6:30 to 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So it kind of goes like, okay, how do you fit in time for everything else? Because there's other things that are important, right? Other responsibilities, making time for like your loved ones, fiance especially. I wanted to go over like my day off and just kind of how an average one goes. So even though it's my day off, usually every morning I will wake up around, I try to aim for 5, sometimes half an hour earlier if I'm able to. And if I really need the recharge, it'll be 5:30 instead. But that's because I'd like to get to the gym around like 5:30 to 6. That way I get my workout in before the first round of orders start coming in, which is almost always around 6:30 in the morning. What do I do when I don't go to the gym, which I only go 5 days out of the week, is that slot in the morning, I will dedicate it actually to usually working on something creative. Sometimes it's continuing something from last night. Sometimes it's just making like a quick little song or practice or something like that. But I'll try to fill it in and be productive if I'm able to. But on my day off, I'll still take an order, a single order, nothing too crazy, like nothing that's going to take 2 or 3 hours, but I'll just do a quick one. I figure like, hey, okay, you make $20 or something in the morning. Over the course of a month, that adds up to about 4 weeks, which is $80 extra for the month. And for just quickly hopping on something and then coming back to the pad, that's not a bad deal. So in this case, I actually did take an order. Once I took my order, I came back. Me and my fiance had breakfast and coffee. We discussed some stuff that we were going to work on. We decided to go to the gym together, day off and stuff. So I pushed it back. I think I got some footage of it too. Today I did mostly, I think it was back, arms, a little bit of shoulders. I try to work out everything like muscle groups and all that jazz like twice a week. And I'll usually try to mix it up with a decent amount of variety. I tried to record myself on the easy bar doing some bicep curls. Usually we chill in different areas though. I'll be by the dumbbells because I'm a lughead. So afterwards, you're kind of like, okay, we got a couple of errands and stuff, some fun things, groceries and all that stuff to pick up. So we just hung out. We picked up like some cool baking supplies. I'm going to butcher the name of the pastry she made, but she made like this like cream cheese filled like cherry pastry. We got like this nice like cherry mixed berry mix from Trader Joe's. It's delicious. Her pastries are always literally like the best thing I have like that day. Self-control, Vic, self-control. And then we just handled a couple of more like, oh, we got to do this too and this too. We drove through a car wash, which was fun. I, for some reason, always get mesmerized by them, but long overdue. I try to keep everything as tidy as I can because it's one of those things that I will tend to slack off on whenever I'm like encountering like, oh, things have been a little difficult lately. So I try to be on top of that cleanliness and just tidiness stuff as much as I can. Sometimes I will take orders, like an order or two again in the afternoon. But because I had been grinding pretty much straight like for 2 weeks or so before this, like I think even on my last day off, I had done it this way where I did take a couple of orders in the afternoon, but this time I decided not to, just so I was able to spend more time with her. We sat down and we actually dyed my hair. She had this like, not really like meant to like to be a dedicated dye. It's more just to make your hair look more natural because I've got grays. I have pepper hair, so the whole point of the dyeing job that she did was just to restore it so that there's no more grays and it just looks like a nice, healthy, natural color. It felt like there was just a bunch of menthol in my hair. So considering how warm it was yesterday, it was a little bit of a welcome change. I liked it. Afterwards, she decided that she was going to bake the pastry that I mentioned from earlier. So after that, I decided to hop on and dedicate a few hours to working on my own stuff, which is always real swell of her. I know it's my day off, which I will almost always dedicate 100% to her. But she was nice and reassured me that it's just nice to have me there around her, like versus usually where I am, which is out here waiting for orders. Right now, what I'm currently working on is I just finished up my album. I have a friend drawing up the artwork, and so once that's done, it's pretty much go time for release. But I had this thought of just like, hey, what in the meantime, maybe I'll put out one of them as a single, and I'll make like a quick B-side or something that I could toss on there as a second song. So I did like the progression on it. I think it'll be a solid little fun song. It's nothing too like oh my god, I can't believe you left this off the album, but it's a nice little jam. I think I'll have something ready in like another day or two that I can just toss on there, and we'll toss it up on streaming and everything else and see how it does. Afterwards, we decided just to get ready for bed pretty early-ish, you know. I think I was very much appreciative of the day off, like in terms of just like recharge. Like I felt pretty refreshed, and when I woke up this morning, it was kind of like, oh hey, hell yeah, like it's go time. Before bed, one of my friends needed some help with selling stuff on eBay. He needed some help listing stuff, and I was like, no biggie, hop on the phone for 20 minutes. It's not my main squeeze now, but I think I still have a couple things up on my shop that I haven't sold yet, but mostly just vintage clothing, which is like probably something I'll talk about in another video, because I'm real big on vintage clothing. It's just my jam. And I think even once I'm like very wealthy, I will still go out of my way just to hunt for like fun pieces and stuff, and it's just a lot of fun. And then we pretty much just like watched Freaks and Geeks before it was time for bed. So there you go, quick video. That's usually how I handle my days off. There'll be some variety. Sometimes, you know, it does come down to like, we actually do have to, there's this thing we have to get done, and the only way to slot it is on the day off. But on those days, I would go out of my way to make sure that we do as much as possible together. That way we maximize our time together. But then also, like, you know, say for example, the orders in the morning, like it's not, even though I'm working on my day off, it's just a quick blip, you know, like it's still like, I'm trying to prioritize showing that other things are most important to me. Yes, it's good that I make more money, but at the same time, it's like you don't want to neglect everything else, like I mentioned earlier. Other than that, it's usually some variation of that. I'm looking forward to when I'm a little bit more caught up and the days off are able to like really be days off, or I'm just able to like just, you know, take us out on some more fun stuff all the time, more often, one of the two. Once I'm in a flow state, I totally will just be right in the swing of working on things. So I think I always just try to find like that sweet spot. I don't want to like wimp out, you know, and not bring results. But at the same time, I do see like, okay, yeah, there's a danger in just being like constantly and grind, work type of like energy, and just, again, keywords to not neglect things, I think. So catch you guys in the next video.